Super Smash Bros. Has been bringing Nintendo's biggest icons together for over 2 decades. And it's the only game that made punching Pikachu socially acceptable. Smash isn't just a fighting game, it's a childhood, a meme factory, a broken controller waiting to happen. But not every Smash game is created equal, so I'm going to be ranking every single Smash Bros. Title, from the button mashing chaos of Smash 64 to the insanity of Ultimate. Some of these games have earned their legendary status. Others are Smash Bros. Melee. First is Smash 64. Honestly, it's a miracle this game even exists. It launched with a small but iconic roster: Mario, Kirby, Samus, Pikachu. Though apparently Nintendo forgot villains were a thing. Unlike traditional fighters like Street Fighter, Smash flipped the script by being a platform fighter. No health bars, just percentages. The higher it climbs, the further you fly until you're blasted off screen. So just remember, never go off screen. So as I was saying, Kirby... Outside of standard matches, you got one-player mode. Later it'll be known as classic mode. 10 stages, some bonus rounds, and the final showdown with Master Hand. It's fun. Once. The stages never change, so replaying them with every character gets tedious. You start with 8 characters, but you can unlock 4 more. Captain Falcon, Jigglypuff, Luigi, and... Ness? Most Americans had no idea Earthbound even existed, so this was a wild surprise. And that's pretty much all of the content it has. But here's the thing. It is so much fun. I had a blast playing this. The controls are simple. 2 buttons and the control stick. A is for normal attacks, B is for specials, plus directional inputs. No side V yet, which feels odd, but you get used to it. One thing that really sets Smash apart from every other fighter at the time were the items. Hammers, Pokeballs, bombs. They drop right into the middle of the fight and completely flip the match. Were they fair? Absolutely not. But did the game feel competitive? Also no. The game is definitely floaty and too loose to be competitive, and that's fine. It was always meant to be a party game, and it absolutely works as one. The only thing holding Smash 64 back is the lack of content and tighter controls. But as the start of the series, it has set the bar. And believe it or not, one of the future games will end up worse than this. With Smash 64's massive success, the series got a sequel on the GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee. This game became a legendary title that people still talk about to this day, but not always for good reasons. The biggest change is the controls. They're tighter, faster, more responsive. And I hate it. Somehow this was the hardest game for me to enjoy. Everything feels so technical. But wow, there's so much more to do. Classic mode is back with randomized opponents and trophy rewards. You've got new mini-games like home run contests and multi-man smash. Plus, adventure mode lets you run through levels based on Nintendo Worlds, which is fun. Once. But not something I replay. The roster had a huge upgrade, 14 new characters with villains like Bowser and Ganondorf finally showing up. Plus weird but cool picks like Ice Climbers and Marth. And here's where the Smash series does something so special. It can revive entire Nintendo franchises outside of Japan. Like, Ness put Earthbound on the map. Without him, it might have been forgotten completely, buried in Nintendo games you've never heard of lists. Or Fire Emblem, this series wasn't even released outside of Japan. But Melee's inclusion of Marth and Roy made people curious. Fast forward, and Three Houses sells millions. That's wild. And this is my favorite thing about Smash. It introduced me to games that I never would have played otherwise. Anyways, I hate Melee. Correction, I hate Melee players. Melee is way more competitive than 64 because of how precise the mechanics are. It's technical, hard to pick up, but incredibly rewarding if you put in the time. That's why Melee tournaments still thrive decades later. On paper, Melee is the ultimate upgrade. More characters, more stages, more everything. But while Smash 64 is goofy chaos that anyone can enjoy, Melee is sweaty chaos. It's fast, punishing, and way less fun if you're not into advanced techniques like wave dashing or L canceling. Depending on your perspective, that makes it either the best Smash game or kind of a buzzkill. As much as I complain, I still rank it above Smash 64 because of the sheer amount of content it has and its lasting legacy. But let's just say Melee can suck my Brawl. Can suck my the next game, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Brawl is so good, so massive, Its intro song is in Latin. Absolute peak. But the actual game is much slower and less technical than Melee, which, depending on who you ask, either made Smash more accessible or ruined it forever. Personally, I find it easier to pick up and play, but yeah, sometimes the slowness annoys me. This is also the first Smash to cut characters. Goodbye Roy, Pichu, Mewtwo, Dr. Mario, Young Link. But in exchange we got Toon Link, more Pokemon, Pit, who even got a new Kid Icarus came out of it. And then Never Again, and even Lucas. Which is great because Mother 3 is one of my favorite games. But it's still never been translated into English. Why? I don't know. I guess it's because Nintendo hates me. I guess I'll just go fuck Sonic. Yep, somehow Mario's biggest rival made it in. And if that wasn't wild enough, Solid Snake showed up too. This marked a turning point. Smash wasn't just a Nintendo celebration anymore. It was a celebration of gaming itself. But Brawl also split the competitive community. Some stuck with it because it's the new Smash, others clung to Melee for its tighter controls. But once the next game came out, Brawl basically vanished competitively. But as a casual party game, it's still fantastic. Alright, time to talk about why Brawl is really remembered. Subspace Emissary. It starts with Mario and Kirby casually fighting when black particles invade with bombs. Led by the ancient minister and villains like Wario, Bowser, DDD, and Ganondorf, their goal is to turn everyone into trophies. This plays like Melee's adventure mode, but bigger and with an actual story. What makes Subspace shine are the crossovers. Samus teaming up with Pikachu, Link riding in with Yoshi, Lucario just stumbling into Snake. And the cutscenes are gorgeous. Characters we'd only dream of meeting suddenly fought side by side. Even DDD gets a twist as a secret good guy thanks to his brooches. Trust me, this is going to be very important. Eventually, the heroes clash with the villains on a giant battleship, which Kirby just casually cuts in half. Yeah, Kirby is just somehow one of the most powerful beings Nintendo has ever created. He is the god of death and destruction. Then comes the reveal of Taboo, who wipes out everyone in a single move. But thanks to DDD's brooches, some characters just get magically revived and rescue the rest. But then comes the Great Maze. You have to traverse this twisty, turny maze, searching and defeating every character, every boss, back to back. It's not a boss rush, it's a marathon. After spending 2 hours in this maze, I finally beat Taboo, which was a generally tough fight and a great finale. Still, for all the incredible cutscenes, the stages themselves get repetitive. Lots of generic enemies, lots of walk right. It's an amazing mode, but a bit overstayed. Even so, Subspace Emissary set the bar for cinematic storytelling in Smash games. Without it, I truly think that Brawl would have been forgotten. Outside of Subspace, Brawl added custom stages for the first time and online play. Everything else was pretty familiar. Now, I don't usually talk about items even though every game keeps adding more, but Brawl added a very important one. The Smash Ball. If you're the lucky player who breaks it, you get to unleash a final smash. Every character got their own big cinematic move that were related to them. Sometimes. It's fun, it's flashy, and honestly, it's one of the coolest things that Brawl brought to the table. Final Smashes became such a staple that it's hard to imagine Smash without them now. It was really tough to rank this one. On one hand, the controls are so much slower than in Melee. But with Subspace Emissary and custom maps, I'm going to rank Brawl above Melee. So far, every Smash game has been better than the last. Hopefully this pattern can continue. It won't. Smash 4 was the first HD Smash game, and it shows. Just look how gorgeous these characters look. We finally got series representation that felt overdue. Mega Man, Littleback, Shulk, Villager, and somehow Wii Fit Trainer. But of course, Nintendo giveth, Nintendo taketh away. Squirtle, Ivysaur, Ice Climbers, even Snake were cut. I hate this cycle of trading characters like Pokemon cards. There was some hope, as this is the first Smash game to have DLC, so they brought back some fighters like Lucas, Mewtwo, and Roy. but now I have to pay for them? Then you've got Cloud Strife wandering from PlayStation like he's lost, Ryu just showing up like sure, why not, and Bayonetta breaking the game so badly. The competitive scene is still salty about her. The gameplay though is peak Smash, not too fast, not too slow, just right. It exploded the competitive scene, especially with the new option to turn any stage into an Omega form for all the sweaty tryhards. And for the casual crowd, they had 8-player Smash. Too bad no Smash player has ever had more than 1 or 2 friends. But when you do fill up that lobby, it's absolute chaos, and the good kind. For the first time, it felt like Smash balanced both competitive and casual play. But outside of that, the new game modes are questionable. Classic is still around, same as always, but Smash 4 introduced Smash Tour. It's basically Mario Party if Mario Party had less charm. You roll dice, collect power-ups, and fight at the end. I didn't hate it, but it's no Subspace Emissary. But plot twist, Smash 4 isn't one game, it's actually 2. Smash Bros for the Wii U and for the 3DS. Mechanically, they're the same, and the 3DS version is surprisingly smooth. But instead of Smash Tour, you get Smash Run. It's like Subspace Emissary stripped of the story, the cutscenes, and the fun. You're just running around for 6 minutes collecting power-ups for one match at the end. That's it. Also, playing the 3DS version is how I learned that the circle pad was not built for Smash Bros. The visitation is this Friday, I hope you can make it. And that's the problem. Both versions were fun in the moment, but they didn't leave a legacy. As soon as the next game came out, everyone collectively forgot these games existed. Smash Wii U goes below Melee because of its irrelevancy, but it plays better than 64. But Smash 3DS goes below 64 because it has modes like Smash Run that I thought were completely pointless. Both felt like stepping stones, important at the time, but not worth revisiting. The next game though, the next game wasn't just Smash. It was an ultimate experience. 3 little words. Everyone is here. That's how Smash Ultimate announced itself, and it's in that moment that it felt like Sakurai broke reality. Finally, no one was cut. Pichu crawled out of Melee, Ice Climbers climbed out of Brawl, and Snake was just hiding under a box the whole time. And then on top of that, newcomers like the Belmonts, King K. Rool, Ridley, and the best newcomers of all, Piranha Plants. This is already shaping up to be a perfect game, and the mechanics back it up. Smash 4's controls were already perfect, so Sakurai didn't mess with them. Instead, he went bigger. More stages than ever, each with multiple fours, more casual fun, more competitive balance. Even the little details made it cinematic. New UI, stylish victory screens, freeze frame finishing blows, and the story mode was back. Sort of. This is World of Lights. Gleam, a biblically accurate light orb, whites out everyone in one move. Except for Kirby. Again, Kirby's one of the most powerful beings Nintendo has ever created. I mean, he can teleport outside of the universe to avoid the attack and then re-enter the universe to come and save everybody. I mean, how does that make sense? Fire! Shut up. Gameplay-wise, it's a giant map where you fight battle after battle to unlock spirits and characters. It's massive, but also repetitive. Way more repetitive than Subspace. And just when you think it's over, a new villain, Darkrun, shows up with another map. Then they both show up again with yet another map. At least the final ending gives you a choice. Let the light win, let the dark win, or do the right thing and beat them both. So Brawl Subspace wins on story, but Ultimate wins everywhere else. Another issue I have with Ultimate is that they kinda ruined Final Smashes. Not because they're not flashy anymore, but because they feel less intuitive. Back in Brawl, some Final Smashes would actually transform your character. Bowser turned into Giga Bowser. Fox rolled out in a tank. Samus literally blew her armor off. But now, most of them are just you hit the opponent once, then watch a fancy MP4 play out before they get launched. I get why they did this. It's faster, more reliable, easier in competitive play, but it feels like they took some of the fun out of Final Smashes. Spears were a cool way to give smaller games representation, but DLC is what truly kept Ultimate alive. It started with Joker from Persona 5, and then suddenly the door was open to anyone. Nintendo even told us exactly how many DLC slots were left, which turned speculation into a global sport.
Yeah, Venom just got added to Guilty Gear. What characters does Smash Bros have?
Minecraft Steve.
Like the Minecraft Steve?
Yeah, and Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Disney let Sora into Smash?
The roster was insane. Banjo-Kazooie, Sephiroth, Terry, Kazuya. Every reveal was an event. For 4 years, Nintendo turned Smash announcements into holidays. A new trailer dropped, hype went nuclear, everyone made 300 reaction videos, then hype cooled off. Until Sakurai hit the button again. So where does Ultimate rank? You're not gonna believe this is the best Smash Bros. To date. It has the best roster, the best mechanics. The only problem I had was with World of Light. So that's it. We've peaked. Video over. Well, not exactly. Smash isn't just about rankings, it's about what this series has meant to people over the years. Smash isn't just a fighting game, it's a childhood, a meme factory, a broken controller waiting to happen. Each game grew bigger and we grew with it. For me, Brawl was bonding with my brother, Smash 4 was late night matches with friends, and Ultimate was college parties with roommates. Wherever I was in life, Smash was always there, reminding us that games are better when we play them together. At the end of the day, Smash Bros is about one thing. Nobody, and I mean nobody, could ever beat Kirby. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you should hit that subscribe button. I would like to thank all of my Patreons, and you should check out another one of my videos. They're pretty good.